everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. We have been getting a lot of rain in the garden, and I have been finding a lot of things that I could do inside the house. I got a chance to make the kombucha, and I got a chance to store a lot of our eggs. The way I store my eggs is I measure 4 ounces of pickling lime. I fill a gallon glass jar half full of filtered water. Then I mix the pickling lime, stir it up really good, and then I add my eggs and fill it the rest of the way with water. And so that keeps the eggs good for a long period of time. I did it for at least 6 months last season, and it helps you to store your eggs when you're not using that many eggs, when the chickens are really laying really fast. And so I found that to be a really good way to store your eggs in a time that you don't have a lot of eggs. Then you can always go and use those, and we used them throughout the winter, and they were excellent. But today we're going to do a garden tour. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, this is one of my Dollar Tree stackables. It is filled with greens, all different kinds. It has some red mustards, and it also has some lettuce in here, and there are some pansies at the bottom. I also put in some of the rosemary that I started from seed, and I think this is the biggest one. Well, there are some more big ones in here also. There's another big one right there. I didn't realize that the rosemary had gotten to this size, so I am excited about that. This container has peppermint. Right here is some dianthus and pansies. This is an azalea. This is one that blooms spring, summer, and fall. This container has sage in it that is putting out some beautiful purple flowers. This is my purslane herb, and it is really growing fast. Little purslane snack this morning. Okay, this container has a lot going on in it. Right there are my sweet peas that are climbing up this fence. There are greens in this bed. There are carrots in this bed. And there are flowers. And some of these mustards are beginning to go to seed, and so we will be harvesting them. Right here is my arborvitae that I went ahead and placed in the soil, in the ground. And here's the other one on the opposite side of the fence. This is the marshmallow root that I recently up-potted. It has really grown. This bed has strawberries and some herbs in it. There in the corner is some holy basil over here. No, that is cilantro right here in this corner. Then I have some tomato plants in the center. That's a ground cherry. There is a eggplant, I think, that has come back from the previous season. Got strawberries over here, ready to be harvested. This container right next to it has some dill growing in it. think I have a little dill snack this morning. Dill is so delicious. Have some more mint growing in this container. More greens and carrots in this bed, and these greens need to be harvested immediately. Some of it will go to the chickens because something has been biting on some of these leaves, but most of them will be going inside. And I have some carrots over here that look like they may be ready to harvest. This container right here has celery. This Dollar Tree stackable is filled with herbs. Got a lot of borage and mullein and lamb's ear. This is mugwort. This is horehound. And that's horehound right there. Got some chamomile right here on the top. This is the toothache plant. This is hyssop. This is hyssop right here, and this is stock. This is lemon balm. These are my medicinal herbs. And I have some flowers planted in here also. Those are some purple pansies with a yellow eye. This bed has onions and carrots. The onions and carrots are companion plants. I have 2 azaleas on the patio. Right here I have some ground cherries that reseeded themselves in this container. And right here is my Vego Garden cube, and it is bursting with color. Marigolds right here at the top. It has some pansies and some Johnny jump ups, and got another marigold over here about to bloom. I have some lettuce and some cabbages in this container also. It is doing a great job. Right next to it is a container with some goji berries, and those are some strawberry sorbet dianthus or sweet William. Okay, in this container is the echinacea that I started from seed, and it is finally looking like it is taking off. So I am very excited about this plant. I'm ready to see that purple cone flower. This container has some lettuce, marigold, and curly mustards in it. Let's have to take a look at this crepe myrtle because it is really looking good right now. This Vegega bed has some beautiful pansies in it, and it also has a camellia bush. This container has ground cherries, snapdragons, and red mustard greens. Right here are some purple dianthus, purple pansies, some red pansies, pink and white petunias, 2 different shades of purple pansies. This bed has my Jamaican sorrel planted in it. I will be planting more Jamaican sorrel, but these are the plants that I grew from seed inside the house, and so I've got them in this container. This is one of the pennies that I planted from bare root. Azalea plant, another azalea shrub, hibiscus flower. These are some cosmos I started from seed. Chives. Dollar Tree gladiolas. This is valerian root. More Dollar Tree gladiolas. This is the bed I recently harvested a lot of greens from, and I'm gonna have to harvest some more greens out of this bed. And this is the tomato plant that I did as an experiment. I planted it before last frost day, and it is looking very good. There are some flowers on this tomato plant. Have some lettuces here. Sunflowers. Okay, some of the rosemary that I started from seed. This container has peppers, tomato, and marigolds. Elephant ear. This container has marigolds and peppers. Right here is a tomato plant. These are the potatoes that I started in one of those chicken feed bags. This is a honeysuckle that I took some of the plant in the back of the garden and planted in this pot. Right here I have some stock that is beginning to bloom. More stock in this container. PG hydrangea that I started from a bare root. I have some caladiums that are sprouting in this pot that I started from the bulbs. More stock. Have a sunflower and some carrots and greens in this container. Got some sweet peas climbing the trellis here, and they're beginning to get some pods on them. This is the bed I showed you in the previous video where I started the okra. Right here is one of my hosta plants. More purple pansies. Another hosta plant. And here is what the corn is looking like. The corn got blown over again last night. We had big storms last night, and it is leaning this way. It was leaning the other way the last time, and it has stood back up. But this time, the wind blew it in the opposite direction. So it has some sunflowers underneath it. Okay, this squash plant has reseeded itself in this container with a goji berry, and I'm going to be removing the squash plant and taking it to the east garden because I'm trying not to have any squash plants over here in case of the squash vine borer. And I also have a squash that reseeded itself in my potatoes, so I'm going to be removing it today also. I started to leave it in there because it has gotten huge, but I don't want it over here with my potatoes and causing a vine borer problem in this area, so I'm going to be removing it and taking it to the east garden today also. This structure and container has some purple and yellow pansies in it. And this is a Rose of Sharon shrub. The rose bush with the trellis and a clematis. And on the opposite side of the garage is the other rose bush with the trellis and the clematis climbing up. In the front corner of the house, I have a hosta with a chrysanthemum in it. Right here is a knockout rose. I have another hosta on this corner of the house. And this is the east garden, and as I told you, we did get a lot of rain last night, but here are some of the squash and pumpkins that I planted. In this area, I replanted. I still have a tray of melons to plant, so I brought these melons over to the east garden and started planting the melons over here also with the squash and the pumpkins. And since this is a large area where I put the plastic, I will be adding some okra plants to this area. And then I'll be putting in my irrigation. And it's not going to take very much to do the irrigation because I already have the irrigation up to this point. And so all I need to do now is to connect to this part, and I'm going to do drip tape throughout the garden. And this piece right here that I disconnected, I'll still be able to just wind it up and I can reuse it wherever I need it in the garden. And this is my Golden Delicious apple tree that I cut back really hard during the fall, and it is looking wonderful. And right here is the row of crepe myrtles. And I planted all these trees. I also planted this birch tree. And someone asked if I had been seeing any of those slitherers. Well, there go one of your slitherers. Okay, you all, that was a rat snake. This is my magnolia bush, and it is getting huge. So I am excited about this magnolia. This is my Japanese maple tree, and this is what the weeping willow tree is looking like that I planted. Right here is a dogwood tree. This is a service berry tree, and the birds have about picked it clean of the berries. This is a magnolia tree right here. It is a different variety of magnolia. These flowers have a very lemony fragrance, and they are beautiful. This is the rhododendron I recently planted. And this is the hydrangea and the pine tree that I recently planted in this area. And this is the hydrangea that my granddaughters bought for me. These are some Johnny Jump Up and pansies. More pansies. There's a blueberry bush in the container with these pansies. These are my purple hull peas. Here is another Dollar Tree stackable that is filled with some plants. On top, I got some nasturtiums, got some stock in here. There is a lot of yarrow in this container. Right back here, I have some lavender. It is about to flower. It will have purple flowers on it. This is a red passion rose. This garden bed has a lot of tomato plants in it. I have a lot of tomato plants planted here. Have some eggplants planted here. I have cucumbers planted here that I plan to run up this trellis. There are a lot of eggplants and peppers in this raised bed with these tomato plants. And tomato plants are looking really good. This area is where I just put some plants recently. This area I started putting pots in recently, and I have some potatoes over here. I also have some herbs over here, some chamomile. Right here is a elderberry, rosemary, a pepper. In the center, I have some geraniums and dusty millers in this container. Right here is peppermint. That's peppermint also. And there's peppermint and rosemary in those containers. This is my asparagus bed, and I have a lot of other plants in here with my asparagus because I do plan. At one time I may get a bed that I only have asparagus in, but at this time I still add other plants to my asparagus bed. So at one point I may get a bed that is just for my asparagus, but not right now. There are ground cherries in this bed. There are flowers, zinnias. There is some spinach in this bed. This bed has recently been replanted. This is the bed that I had for the chickens, and I recently replanted it since the chickens don't get out and run around as much as they used to because of the fact that there is so much for them to get into, and we have so many chickens now. So this bed has recently been replanted. There are cucumbers in this bed, some snapdragons, pansies, and some eggplant and peppers. And there are some tomatoes in here also. So there's a lot going on in this bed. Once this bed gets established, I will show it to you again. This area, we have a lot of potatoes. This is an azalea right here. Got potatoes. I got my regular potatoes. I have the sweet potatoes planted over here. I have tomatoes, more potatoes right there. Y'all, there's a lot of work being done down here on the highway, so there is a lot of trucks, dump trucks, and a lot of noise right now. So I apologize for that. Right here are ground cherries and carrots planted. I did not plant the ground cherries here. They reseeded themselves because ground cherries are all over this garden. So I got ground cherries popping up everywhere. Tomatillos are in that bed. Then I have some more potatoes, cabbages, and leeks right here. Get closer so you can see the leeks. There are some leeks. I started all of these from seeds. There are more tomatoes, and there are my watermelons that are planted in this area. And here are some more tomato plants. There's a lot planted in this bed, but I see that some petunias have seeded themselves in here, because once I remove the soil from one area and put it in another, then some of these seeds reseed themselves. And when something reseeds itself that looks as beautiful as these petunias do, I will not move it. But I will be moving this squash plant, and I think that this is the pink banana squash. I will be removing this because I do not want this squash growing into this container with these potatoes to possibly cause squash vine borers to be in this area. So I will be removing this plant, and I'll take it to the east garden. Okay, so we have 21 chickens on the homestead. We have 17 hens and 4 roosters. And we also have 2 cute little rabbits. And these rabbits is where we get chicken manure from the chickens, and these rabbits is where we'll be getting manure that we can use instantly in the garden, because rabbit manure does not need to compost. And here is Kane and the girls. That's Kane, Matilda, and Thelma and Louise. And they've been getting some treats this morning. They got some of the carrots that had split in the garden, so we went ahead and gave them to the chickens. In this bed, we got some purple Brussels sprouts, Swiss chard, and purple sprouting broccoli. This bed has some Swiss chard and some regular Brussels sprouts and leeks and tomatoes and peppers. Strawberries, Swiss chard, lacinato kale, and ground cherries. Tomatoes, tomatillas, Brussels sprouts, and peppers in this bed. Turnip greens in this bed. This is the bed I recently planted with tomatoes, peppers, and some broccoli. Turnip greens and carrots in this bed. Turnip greens and pansies in this bed. Peppers in this bed. Peppers and marigolds. Hollyhocks and zinnias in this bed. Cauliflower, curly mustards, and pansies, and fennel in this bed. And the fennel is beginning to bulb up. Tomatoes, peppers, eggplants in this bed. Right here are my grapevines and clematis, flowering almond, moringa plant, elderberry from Diva Jones, an elderberry of a different variety that I bought at the store. Moringa for Cynthia bush. Right here is my harvester peach tree. And some of the peaches swiveled up on this tree. And so if your peach tree cannot hold all of the fruit, it will let some of the fruit go. So there were way too many peaches on this tree, and I already knew that, but I let the tree decide what to keep and what to let go. This is a banana plant. This is a dwarf Satsuma orange that I recently purchased. This is a dwarf Satsuma orange that I recently purchased. This is the weeping cherry Shirshima, and it has some dianthus planted beneath it. This is a blood orange, and it is loaded with blood oranges. Another elderberry bush, another blood orange tree. This is a gala apple tree. This is a raspberry plant. Right here is a blackberry vine. I saw this water going down like this. I almost took off running. I thought it was one of them slitherers. This is a spruce pine tree. Right here is another Dollar Tree stackable that I have some herbs in. Here's another Dollar Tree stackable. I have some purple basil, toothache plant, some feverfew planted in this container. And some goji berries that found their way into this container. Right here is a nectarine tree. This is a purple lilac. It has already bloomed for this season. This is my garlic bed. That's one of my onion beds right there. And it has sunflowers that's trying to take the bed over. Here is another one of my onion beds. And this is onion bed number 3. Onion bed number 4 and number 5. And this onion back here looks so huge that I just want to go ahead and pull it out. If I can get it. Okay, that is a big onion. It's about the size of my fist. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one inside. And we're gonna cook it. I'm not gonna even worry about storing it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cook this one. Okay, I got some collard greens right here that's going to seed. Spiderwort plant. Another Dollar Tree stackable with some herbs in it. Got some mullein and got mullein, yarrow, toothache plant, and a tomato. I didn't put this tomato plant in here, but there is a tomato growing in this Dollar Tree stackable. So obviously the seed was in some of the soil that I put in here. Got chamomile, banana plant. This raised bed has a lot going on in it. It has marigold, sunflowers, zinnias. There are some clematis back here at the back. And this is a radish that has gone to seed. go ahead and pull this radish out of this container. It has gone to seed. We missed one. Go ahead and pull the rest of this out. Go ahead and get these weeds. And there was a carrot left in this bed. And that is one of the bolero carrots that I had removed from this bed because the cat had got in this bed. But y'all, this was a beautiful carrot. Cynthia, thanks for those carrot seeds. Bolero carrots are going to be growing all over this garden. And that grows a beautiful carrot. And there's another carrot that was left in this bed. That was one of the purple carrots that Cynthia had sent to me. But we do have others growing in these beds, so those are some just getting out because this bed is just a flower bed now. Strawberries. And this is the last of my Dollar Tree stackables. This one has some greens and lettuces and yarrow and chamomile, all planted up in this container. Everything is looking really good. Okay, so here are some strawberries over here, and I really want to get in here and get some. I already got the big one that was hanging off, but I want to get in here. I'll come back and eat some of these strawberries later. They are looking delicious. And we got more that are forming all over this plant. Got blueberries right here. And these delicious blueberries right there. It's a nice little cluster right there that I am ready to get my hands on. This plant is loaded with blueberries. And blueberries are loaded with antioxidants that are so good for you. These are so good. Delicious. Delicious. More carrots, greens, strawberries, leeks and greens. And these are tomato plants that are growing on the cattle panel. And these are the tomatillos. These are the tomatillos, and the tomatillos are loaded with flowers. Let's take another look at these tomatoes. Then tomato plants have flowers on them also. So we will be getting tomatoes soon. I am excited about that. We have ground cherries growing all over the garden. Here is a huge sunflower. That is one of my fig trees right here. This is the Chicago fig. This is a small arborvitae. Alberta spruce. This is one of my blueberries that I have planted in the ground. This is my pomegranate tree. Honeycrisp apple tree, a Lapin cherry tree, banana plant. This is an olive tree, a brown turkey fig tree. It has started to get some small figs on it. And my new improved Meyer lemon. And the Meyer lemons are beginning to ripen. This was not a harvest video, but this is my harvest for today, 1 onion. So I hope that you have enjoyed the video and that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.